beautiful angels, welcome back to my channel. I'm Victoria Leone. Guess what? You'll never believe what we're testing out today. Yep, another foundation. I snagged these from Sephora. I usually always order my stuff online, so I get it a little bit later. I got two different shades. I've already decided I'm gonna go with the lighter one. I think that's gonna match me better than this one. This is the shade 17.5. So this is Sephora's 10-hour wear foundation. It does say that it's medium coverage, but it's buildable, which I love because I am a full coverage girl. I have been loving a little bit of luminosity lately, so I'm not sure how this is gonna go with that. It has hyaluronic acid in it. I wonder what, how far down in the ingredient list hyaluronic acid is, but that is such a good hydration agent if you have acne prone skin or just, you know what, for regular skin. It's really good to hydrate and help prevent aging, so I really love that this foundation has that in there. It also has vitamin E, which is a bonus. You can never go wrong with having a little bit of extra vitamins in the foundations. It is currently 3 o'clock. I'm planning on wearing this up until maybe 10 or 11. I usually stay up pretty late, so that's gonna be pretty darn close to that 10 hours. We're gonna push it as close as we can. I do have very oily skin. I already primed with Cover FX Gripping Primer and the Tarte Smoothing Primer, just on my T-zone a little bit. So we'll see how that holds it up. I do want to try this another day though too. So we'll test it maybe tomorrow as well or something like that so we can give a better review. Super interesting fact reading on Sephora's website. It says this oil-free formula acts like a second skin. So weird. Like when I read that, I was like, ooh, that's like gross but kind of cool. I'll take that. I'm curious. I wonder if that just means that it's really lightweight or if I'm going to be able to feel it on my face. It does say that it's not tested on animals. However, it doesn't say that it's a clean product. It surprises me from Sephora. But anyways, let's get into it. It does say that it's a natural finish, so I'm hoping that will get a little bit of a glow, but not super extreme. I'm kind of in between really loving that and really loving luminosity. With the luminosity, like I just love kind of being able to control my oils versus fighting it all day long. We just opened it up. It has a really nice glass bottle. I actually prefer ones like this just so I can like cut it open and like really get all the product out, because there's actually so much more product in here at the end. When you think it's empty, it's actually not. So I wish it was kind of like that, but it does look really beautiful. It's gonna look really gorgeous just on your desk. And it's a pump, and I love that it's a pump. I love that it has a pump with it. That is definitely one downside of the Estee Lauder foundation, is that you have to buy a pump if you want it to have one, which it's already so expensive. But this one's only $20. Super thick, like that's not going anywhere. It's not running at all. Like this is not moving. Started off with just 3 pumps. It does say that it's buildable, so I'm really counting on that. It is super thick. Like, honestly, I think this might be like my perfect match. Look how good it actually matches my neck. I like this. Wow. I love that this is like actually my color. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna build up a little bit more just around my T-zone because I do have some pimples coming through there that are driving me bananas. I feel like the Beauty Blender really soaked up a lot of that product, which was good and bad because I definitely don't want it to be too cakey, but I felt like I used a lot of product with that. So now I'm just gonna take a flat brush. This is just one from BS Small that I got from Amazon, and we're gonna build that in on the other side. Literally making me think of paint, you guys. I'm not really liking it with the brush. It's showing brush strokes pretty badly. I think I like the Beauty Blender side. Yep, I'm gonna go over it with the Beauty Blender. Yeah, that looks a lot better. It's so weird how some foundations just work so good with the brush. Like honestly, the Anastasia one, if you guys go and look at that one, she looked so beautiful with the brush. I loved it with the brush. The Beauty Blender side looked amazing too, but the brush side was just like, yes, working it. But this one, nope, Beauty Blender is working it. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in and you're gonna see everything in all of my beauty. My skin is definitely not perfect, but I want to show you what this looks like on so you can be seeing what I'm seeing. Oh my gosh, don't mind my dark circles. We need to conceal. But right here, it looks really good. My pores are still showing a little bit. This side looks good too. I don't know what's going on right there, to be honest. It's like not really even a pimple. I don't know what that is. I wonder if I just like scratched my face or something. I think I use this side of my face, like the muscles, more than that side because I never have an issue with smile lines on this side, but I do on that side. So they're coming through. We'll just have to buff those out before we set it. But for medium coverage, she looks pretty. I feel like everything is blurred. My pimples aren't like crazy popping through, maybe just this one and that one. But otherwise, like my wrinkles in my forehead don't look bad. Looks good, even like a pimple on my neck is like covered right here. All right, I'm gonna sign off and then come back, do a little bit of a last check-in before we go about the day. Okay, we're back. So the foundation, I have like a couple concerns. It does look really beautiful. My concealer, to be honest, got a little bit messed up with the powder that I set with it. It kind of changed tone, so I had to kind of fix it. And that was a little bit of a challenge, so it does look a little bit choppy just like right here. I don't think that that's the foundation's part. However, right up here, and this was after I set the face and everything when I was doing my brows, it really got smudged. So that's like my biggest concern because I do touch my face a lot, which I know is not good when you have acne prone skin because your hands do have a lot of oils and germs on them that can promote acne. So I know that's no bueno, but just naturally I do touch it a lot. So I feel like at the end of the night, like this is my prediction, that it's gonna be melted away a lot right here. That's just like my prediction, and maybe right here a little bit as well, and then on the top of my nose, because those are the areas that I usually pat for oils that are coming through. I do feel very pretty, which is the goal of makeup. Like you want to feel confident in your skin. I love that my shade matches. And that is nothing against the other foundations at all because it's my fault for not picking the right shades. But I'm just so excited that these match. I'm really super stoked. Here's zoomed in. I don't know if you guys can see, there's a little bit of the choppiness just right here under my eyes. It looks really pretty here. It covered up like a lot of my pimples like I showed you earlier. It didn't, like just around like this area, it set a little bit funny, and then here up here is where it like was sliding around a little bit. But overall, I like it. It's a really pretty medium coverage. I built it up to be a little bit more full. We'll check in later and see how she's going. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'll see you soon. Mwah. Okay, it is time for a foundation test. As you can probably see, I am looking a little glowy. That is from said oils. So yeah, it's getting a little oily. I'm really surprised it did not break apart as bad as I thought it would. Like that, I thought for sure my prediction would come true. I was like, yes, this is gonna break apart and be awful. But if you look up close, like obviously oils are happening, so my pores are happening more, but I actually think it looks really beautiful. Like I feel I could still go out with this. I would instinctively want to powder, but I've been trying to love the glowy look a little bit more and just embrace my oils and rock them instead of just trying to fight them all the time. And I really like it. I mean, I would still want to powder a little bit just around my nose because I don't like the shininess here, or maybe just like right there. But everywhere else, like on my forehead, like right here, I like that. And I did not put on any highlighter today. I did just on my brow bone and my inner eye. But doesn't she look like pretty nice? I think she actually looks pretty nice. I'm excited to test this out tomorrow. I'm going to use my YSL Luminous Primer tomorrow and see how that one's going to work, and see how it'll do with a more luminous base to it instead of this primer, which is very like grippy, mattifying, and all those things. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I want to note too that I didn't actually use the Urban Decay setting spray like I usually do. Today I went with Morphe, which I know, interesting, right? I wanted to give it a little bit more hydration. She's supposed to be a natural finish. My husband agreed that it doesn't look like I'm wearing like tons of makeup. I asked him, I was like, does it look like I'm just like obvious makeup today, or does it look more natural? And he said it looks more natural without me even like suggesting what it might look like. That was his answer. So I was like, yes, we're in the right direction for sure. I also did not set with my Makeup Forever powder, which I usually always do. And that combined with either Skindinavia or Urban Decay always completely mattifies like my whole face. But since I didn't do that today, like I just really wanted to see how the powders would hold up just throughout the day and everything. And I feel like it just actually looks way better than it normally would. So curious. Okay, day 2 of my makeup. I am just really loving my makeup today. I used the YSL More Luminous Primer today, so my pores are more visible. Yesterday I used the Cover FX Primer and the Tarte Smoothing Primer, so those two combos always help hide the pores, but I wanted to go for a little bit more of a natural look just to see how the foundation does like with a different one, because it performed really well yesterday. I love it. It looks so good. It matches my skin right now. It matched yesterday, but I did do a self-tanner today, so by the end of the night, it might not match. It just looks so pretty. Oh my gosh. I am loving it today. 20 bucks, you guys. That's it. Other note too is I actually used only 2 pumps today. Yesterday I used I think 3.5. I don't know why, it just was less. I started off with less and built it up a little bit more just in the areas that I wanted, and I think that made a huge difference. So start off with just a little amount and then build up from there. All right, let's finish up and chat about our Sephora foundation. Side note to you guys, I'm actually testing out 2 different foundations right now in a foundation wars. That will be coming up very soon, so be looking for that video. I'm super excited about it. But if you're noticing that my skin doesn't match my face, or that this side of my face is darker than this side, that's because I do have 2 different foundations on. So just a little side note. But Sephora has stepped up their game. Holy smoke. So you saw day 1, by the end of the night, I was quite shiny, but it really wasn't bad. I did have really bright lights on me, so it made it look a lot worse than it was. But seriously, if I would have just taken some of my Makeup Forever loose powder and powdered just around like my nose and what I was talking about on my forehead, it would have been a picture perfect like foundation again. Like it held up so good. And then day 2, oh my goodness, I even took tons of selfies because I was feeling so confident and I really loved my foundation. It matched my skin so good, but besides that, the coverage was beautiful. It was blurring, it blended out so good. I am going to give this like a 9.5 out of 10, which is a very high rating. I really liked it. It worked so good. Even though it was only medium coverage, I really liked that because it made me feel like, hey, this could be a really good natural skin day. The only reason I rated it down a little bit is just because it's so thick, so that does make like the application a little bit harder. You have to be a little bit more careful when you blend it out or when you apply powders on top of it because you don't want it to smear. But once it's set, and especially like maybe 20 to 30 minutes later when it's warmed up on your skin, it is so beautiful. I just wish it wasn't quite as thick. But at the same time, if we can get this like gorgeous look out of it, then it's okay. Totally don't mind. I think another note is you would need to be careful about caking. Don't put too much. Like I think you can build it up a little bit, but I would just be cautious, especially if you have a lot of texture on your skin. Just use the right primer. Just be careful about how much you build it up. But I think if you were to go and get this, you would be really happy with it. I am really in love with this. So good job, Sephora. I like it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful. I know I've been doing like an insane amount of foundation reviews lately, but there's been an insane amount of foundations released, so it's been fun. I love finding something that's gonna be like your new holy grail, because there's always really good products, but they're coming out with new formulas, so it's nice to test it out and see if you can find one that works even better, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, is feeling good in your skin, feeling the best you can feel, and that's what I want to help you guys get, is just confidence in your makeup. If you enjoyed watching this, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and ring the bell. I hope you did enjoy, and I hope to see you back again. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. Mwah.